Hello, this is Norbert, EP4WK, with another update on my satellite tracking project. Today we're talking hardware. Finally got my hardware in the mail. I have to say that Mark Spencer, he did a great job putting the parts list together, making it available. It's online, or also it comes on a CD. When you get the board, there's a CD that has the parts list and all the part numbers, description, everything is there. I like that the parts are readily available. All of them were in stock, and I just went online, placed the order, immediately got an email confirming the order. Later that day I got another email with the tracking information, and a couple of days later the parts arrived. As you can see, they came priority mail, which I think is very convenient. They have flat rates. So I went ahead and opened the box, and we've got our motors, we have gears, some screws, we got the mounts, bearings. So everything is in there. The only thing that doesn't come here was the metal box. The metal box came with the electronics from a different vendor. The box that we'll be using, and yeah, I think we have everything. We're ready to start assembling the mechanical, the hardware of the system. I have another video with the electronics, so I hope you like it, and don't forget to put your comments, questions below. Thanks for watching. I want to show you the parts I got for the satellite tracking project. First, here on the left is the aluminum channel, which I already went ahead and cut, and I also attached one of the hubs. I'll give you more details in a minute. We have the arm here, is made of aluminum. Also, I went ahead and attached one of the hubs there. We have our pillow blocks, two of those. They have like a bearing in the center. We have the gears here. One is size 50, size 36, and I also went ahead and attached one of them to one of the hubs. We have the arms that we cut out of the PCB, remember that? We have some more hubs here, and those you need 7 in total. As you'll see, we have a 3-inch shaft and a 1 1/4, and also we have here is a coupler, shaft coupler. We have a turntable here. We have the motor mounts, 2 of them. We have the motors right here. These they're not the same. One of them is a 0.5 RPM, 12 volt, and the other one is 1 RPM, 12 volt. They're heavier than I expected. We have some screws here. The screws. We have 2 potentiometers. From those came with the electronic parts. These are 10K. And we have our box. Metal box is also a bit heavy. Like I said before, it looks like a CubeSat. So I think we're ready to build something. When you get the board, it comes with a CD, and that CD has some information, like for example these templates here. It comes with the templates to make the holes on the box, and then it has a set of instructions. And again, this is just a guide. So the first thing here it starts with the aluminum channel, which I want to show you here what I did. I went ahead and I cut one of those templates. See, one of the templates was for the aluminum channel, so I cut that out. Using my Dremel tool, I cut the aluminum out, like you can see here. See, I cut here, and I cut another piece here, and then in the back you also need to cut. It's a little bit feels weird because this is round, like you can see here, so you cannot do like a straight line without. So I just cut that with the Dremel. And again, the idea is you're gonna mount one of these motors here, just trying to have some clearance for the motor. The next step here in the process is to fabricate, to build this. Here is like a aluminum piece. It's a C-channel, 3/4 inch C-channel that you attach a hub. So this is how it looks. So I went ahead and I cut some aluminum. I was using my desk bench grinder, and that thing is awesome for these round corners here. So I did that already. Yeah, it looks, I think it looks okay, right? Next, we're gonna install the 0.5 RPM motor to the channel using some screws. Some screws here. This is the 1 RPM. This is the 0.5. For now, I'm just gonna hand tight the motor here. So I'm using one of these bits. The next step is to attach the hub, which I already did that. Moving on, we are going to do the pillow blocks, and then put that shaft there in the center. As you can see there, you make sure you have some clearance for it to rotate. Attaching the pillow blocks here. I went ahead and I installed the coupler and the pillow blocks, the shaft, and this here is our elevation part. And make sure you have good clearance. See, that's why we did the grinding here a little bit, to clear with those screws that you see in there. Make sure that is, that you have the clearance. Yeah, I think it's looking good. The hub here at the bottom, pillow mount. This would be the elevation portion. And here, something I noticed on the coupler, one of the sides is a 1/4 inch, and the other side, the motor side, is a bit smaller. So make sure, I was trying to put the smaller side on the 1/4 inch, and obviously didn't work. So I quickly realized it was backwards. Next step here is to mount the other motor. This will be the 1 RPM, and it says here to take screw and cut the head off. I'm gonna cut the screw because we need to put it in here to connect these two spacers. We're gonna be using the screw, so I cut one to connect here and one to connect here. 4 screws total that I cut the head and use them to put the spacers. Now we put the motor same way we did the other one, and I'm just gonna hand tie for now. Next here is to do the arms. So we need the arm, this arm here. The other one, this one here is for the elevation. This one is for the azimuth. I have my assembly here. I already took 2 hubs and the 36, and then I used some used screws that I had, because here you need to go from here all the way down, and the screws I got, they were too short, so I found some. I was able to put them. One of these hubs is smaller than the other one. See, this one is loose, this one is tighter fit. And you'll see you're gonna buy 6 that are the same. There's one other that is different. I filed a little bit here, so that, see that, and also you need to make those holes larger. For that, I took my power drill and basically make them smaller, larger. Made the holes larger until I could fit the motor and the potentiometer here. See, there you go. You put your washer and just hand tight. Here's your motor. See, so right there, I need to move that. Good thing I hand tied. Just move that out of the way for now. So here you're also gonna need 2 screws that go here that are smaller than the others. Those did not come in the parts I bought, so I found them in my screws bin, and they are perfect. And there you have it. I think, yeah, looks similar. Next step here talks about the potentiometer. You have to take a multimeter and adjust it to 5Ks, 5K. It says here, if you have a multimeter, you can find the middle. It's a 10K, so find the middle. That should be very close to the 5K that we're looking for. And it's in the instructions how to do the setup. Next here, the next step is then with the box, making the proper holes using the templates that I showed you before. So let's go ahead and do that. It says right here, enclosure top edge, enclosure opening this side. So here's the opening. This is the top. It's gonna be the top holes here. Well, actually, it'll be like this: left side, top edge, and the front. So in here we go with our drill. Make those holes. They should match this here, right? Because That's how you're gonna mount that motor from the inside, like this. Those would be the two holes. And the top also requires a 1.5 hole here in the center. I went ahead and made the holes using the template, like these two here, aligned with the motor mount here. It's gonna be something like that. And then I also cut the hole on the top. This hole here, I started with a hole saw, but it's more for wood, so it wasn't working. So I ended up doing using a jigsaw. It's a 1.5 inch hole there, and then these other 4 are for the turntable. So something like this here, go there. And then also made these parts here. These are the 2 aluminum pieces like shown here. This one, these 2. Here is a before, right? So there we go. Here we have the 2 holes like shown in the picture. I also have my aluminum pieces here. And next we're gonna attach those on top of the turntable and then screw that to the box. Let's see what else. Then after that, I think we are pretty much ready to put the motor inside. And also I see some cables here. I need to go find some cables. So I found I did something wrong here. Instructions says drill and tap these holes here in the aluminum pieces, meaning you have to put some kind of thread in there, which I didn't. So I had to improvise a little bit here. So what I'm gonna end up doing is using the same screws, 632 screws that I have, and took the aluminum pieces and bolted them using nuts here. So it was supposed to be flush, like with the thread in the aluminum, but I missed that part. So now it's gonna be I think gonna be a little bit higher. See, now you have to bolt this to the turntable. It's gonna be higher. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a nut in between here, put the screw, a nut, and another nut here on the bottom. See how, if it works. So far so good. Starting to look like the system we want to make. This will go bolted right there on top of the box. We'll put the other motor inside. So here we have the motor, and again, like I said before, I didn't tap the aluminum pieces right here. I was supposed to drill and tap those, make a thread, and I missed that part. So I went ahead and I just put some nuts in there. As you can see, I put the nut here in between and then another one at the bottom. So it was supposed to be flush, now it's a little bit higher. I also went ahead with my Dremel tool and I reduced the nuts here to avoid them touching the screws. Let me show you here the screw. The screws, when you mount to the box, is gonna be something like this. Okay? This gets bolted to the box. So see, I make sure we have some clearance here. Make sure we don't have any that they're not touching. See, it's really tight, but they're not touching. I think it's gonna work just fine. Same here. And again, remember, this is just a guide. You can come up with any other way to attach the turntable to the main assembly here. Feel free to come up with your own ideas, own solution. So that's done. We have our part. This thing is tight. I also went ahead and put the wires, power here to the motor. I just soldered them to the motor, and then I put a tight wrap here, just strain relief, so to get some pressure from the connection here in case you pull or something, it doesn't break loose from the motor. This is gonna go through that hole in there and into the box. Next is the elevation arm. This is the elevation arm, which I want to show you. I'm going to attach the gear, and I have the gears here, and I already went and screw some the gear to the hub. I did the same with the other two. One is size 50, the other one is 36. So next step here, we're going to be doing the elevation one, which is this one here, and it says we attach that arm to the pillow block with 4 screws, something like this. Here's the like that. We're gonna take we have the arm is attached to the frame here, to the pillow block. Now we're gonna attach the larger, let me see here in the instructions, you can see the larger, the 50 goes in the bottom and the 36 on top. So we're gonna take one of the 50 of the large ones, and we're gonna just loose for now. Then we're gonna mount the 36. This one, the hub faces out. It's like that. The other one faces in. There's the hub, there's the hub. And we need to calibrate. So we are gonna set the 50 on the shaft. The larger one goes on the bottom. There's a flat section here in the shaft, so just tight that one. Okay. Now we need to calibrate the potentiometer. It says put the elevation piece here at about 45 degrees, and you have to set this at 5K, so basically find the middle. And I have my multimeter here, which I'm gonna put on ohms, and you're gonna touch. The potentiometer has 3 contacts. You're gonna take one on the outside and one on the middle. There's the middle one, the outside, and see how it changed here. All the way up here is 10. All the way down there is 0. So I'm gonna find 5. Turn till you get to 5. We adjust the potentiometer to 5. And then what I'm gonna do is, I have a Sharpie marker here. I'm gonna mark this here just in case. So there you go. You know, marking just in case something moves. I can have a reference point. So this is your mark. Now we can attach the other gear, and again this one faces out like this, and make sure you don't move. So this one went right through, very nice. So all we have to do, very carefully, now you don't move any, you don't lose that. Now that 5K, now you can tighten the screw in here. Okay, I'm taking one on the outside, one, the middle one. I'm getting 442. I'm gonna move this way, so get 5. Very carefully, I'm going to mark just in case. The Sharpie. Okay. Now we're going to put the mount here, the gear. So I'm gonna do it like this. Ta-da! And it went right in there, smoothly. Make sure you don't move anything. Now we can tie the screw here to the shaft. Have this one ready. I went ahead and attached this one. Remember I said there was a one of the hubs with a smaller diameter is this one here on the bottom that attaches to the motor. That one, the diameter is smaller. This one is 1/4 inch. And again, I have the screws that goes all the way to, touching both hubs. So this is your Azimuth assembly. Okay, 5K, and yeah, I went ahead and I soldered the cables for the potentiometers. Here's this one here, and then I put another zip tie here as a strain relief, and then they're coming through the center. Did the same for the Azimuth one, the cable, and then zip tie there. We did the potentiometers earlier, set at 5K. Next, we're gonna put the motor inside the box. Make sure your cables are okay in there. I'm gonna connect the shaft with the hub. There you go. The holes here should align. Here we go. Yeah. And then we're gonna attach the screws here. There's one. Do all 4. Now we put all the 4 screws, and this is how it looks like. And you can tie everything together. You're pretty much done. Now we have attached the Azimuth motor inside the box. Very tight here, but it's not touching. It's right there. Enough clearance inside. The cables, make sure they have some clearance. We have our elevation part here on top. It's loose. This one here is still loose. That's why I can turn it with my hand. I'll tighten that in a minute. But it's starting to look like the wrap system we're trying to make. The board goes on the side. Probably have to make 2 holes here on the side of the box. Attach the board in there. Some kind of spacers so it doesn't touch the metal. And finish with the connectors that came with the electronic parts, and those are going to connect here in the back. This is your elevation, azimuth, and your motors. Like right here. Here's your elevation, your azimuth, your motors go here and here. I have the magazine here, starting to look like the one on the picture. Yeah. Here's another picture. The inside. There you go. And you can see it. And again, this is the QST from January 2014. And coming out pretty good. I'm impressed. Everything's so tight. The precision is amazing. Like these 2 holes here, they align perfectly. You put the motor, it has enough clearance here, and then the shaft comes out and it's exact. It's perfect. Same with the turntable, all the parts, the pillow blocks. The precision is amazing. Everything ties together, and it feels rugged, feels strong enough to move the antenna. So we're gonna be testing pretty soon. I hope you like the video. Don't forget to comment, like, put your questions below. We'll try to answer. Thanks for watching.